In episode 5 of the Ahsoka show, we see Anakin Skywalker give his Padawan one last lesson: to live or to die. And that lesson leads to Ahsoka Tano coming back to life as Ahsoka the White.
Who?
But what does that mean, and what was this lesson? Stick around to the end of this video to hear what lesson Anakin was really teaching, and who Ahsoka the White is, and how she is very different from the Ahsoka we remember from before the fall. Smash a like on this video and let's break this all down. Ahsoka received one final lesson from her master Anakin in the World Between Worlds, but what was this lesson, and how did it change her so drastically? Most fans by now have noticed Ahsoka in these first 4 episodes is very different from the happy, smiling girl we remember from the Clone Wars. And it makes sense for her not to be happy and smiling after she found out in Rebels that her master, who she trusted with her life and thought she knew, became the most evil person in the galaxy, killing hundreds of Jedi and thousands of innocent people. That's not something to be smiling about, especially when he was Ahsoka's master for years, and everything she has learned about the Force and being a Jedi was from him. Ahsoka could never even train her own Padawan because she feared whoever it was would turn out just as evil as her master. That's why she denies Grogu in The Mandalorian Season 2, and that's why she stops training Sabine at some point between Rebels and Ahsoka. And not only does Ahsoka have all of this hanging over her head, she also has Baylan Skoll telling her that her legacy is one of death and war, just like her master's, and let's be honest, he's not wrong.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Ahsoka's whole life has been from one war to the next, and right now in the Ahsoka show she's trying to stop another war, with Thrawn coming back as the heir to the Empire. And this is where we get to Anakin's lesson: to live or to die. But that's not really the lesson. Now, before I get into how I interpret this lesson that Anakin's supposed to be teaching Ahsoka, Dave Filoni, who is the showrunner for the Ahsoka show and the apprentice to George Lucas, does this a lot in the Star Wars that he's connected to. He leaves things open-ended for each fan to interpret it in a different way. Now, I will give you my interpretation of how I see this lesson that Anakin is teaching Ahsoka, but tell me what your interpretation of this whole World Between Worlds sequence is in the comments section below. Anakin attacking Ahsoka has 2 different meanings behind it. First one is Ahsoka's literally fighting for her life. She lost this fight to Baylan Skoll and she ended up dying. So this fight between her and Anakin is literally Ahsoka fighting for her life. But the second meaning is Anakin teaching her this lesson. He's not trying to kill her. He's trying to get her to flip her switch and go dark side, which we kind of see at the end of this fight. However, this fight begins with Anakin pulling out his lightsaber and Ahsoka saying that she won't fight him. The same thing that Luke Skywalker tells Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi.
I will not fight you, Father.
And that's why Anakin says he's heard that before. Quick side note, this explains that this is not a dream. All those people out there saying that this actually didn't happen, Ahsoka was just dreaming this up. Ahsoka wasn't there for the fight between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi, so she wouldn't be able to make Anakin say something like that because she wasn't there. This is Anakin Skywalker in the afterlife. Another parallel from the Luke Skywalker versus Vader fight in Return of the Jedi and this Ahsoka versus Anakin fight in the World Between Worlds, it's at the end of the fight when Ahsoka has taken Anakin's lightsaber from him, and very similar to Luke Skywalker, she deactivates the lightsaber and throws it to the side. This is showing that Anakin is teaching Ahsoka a lesson that Luke taught to Anakin. I know, there's some crazy stuff going on in this scene, but however, there is another.
There is another.
Another lesson that is going on in these flashback sequences. Anakin was training Ahsoka to be a soldier in the Clone Wars. While the Jedi were supposed to be the keepers of the peace, the Clone Wars made them all generals. Ahsoka is again learning that she's nothing like her master, as he was perfectly okay with this war and honestly probably preferred it. The Clone Wars really allowed Anakin Skywalker to let out his inner demons on droids instead of the rest of the galaxy, and when the war ended, well, we know what happens. But Ahsoka's not like Anakin. She didn't want to fight in this war. You can tell that she cares about the innocent people on the planets and the clones even. And what she realizes during the Siege of Mandalore conversation with Anakin is that Anakin's legacy is of death and war. Ahsoka's legacy still has yet to be written. And these flashback sequences from caring about the clones and the innocent lives of others and Anakin's really disregard for all those people really shows Ahsoka that if she does have an apprentice, which she probably will with Sabine and most likely Jason Syndulla and Ezra and others, they won't turn out like Anakin because she will train them a lot differently than Anakin trained her. And this brings us to Ahsoka the White. Stripped of all the negative thoughts and worry about her masters still living through her in some way, now Ahsoka has been freed and is clear and pure, hence the all-white. Now, it's still unclear what Ahsoka's legacy will be, but I think we will find out very soon in this new galaxy. But this show is called Ahsoka, and the amount of character development we just got for the character of Ahsoka in just a quick 45 minutes is more character development than we've gotten for many other Star Wars characters through their whole arcs. And it was all just from one last lesson from her former master, the Chosen One himself, Anakin Skywalker. Another side note, it's official, the Rebels epilogue has officially been retconned. Ahsoka the White is here, and we already saw the epilogue from Rebels in episode 2 of Ahsoka, and although it was a very similar scene, it clearly is a retcon. So the Ahsoka we remember before the fall in her fight with Baylan, in the first 4 episodes that fans were complaining that she's too serious and doesn't smile enough and isn't the Snips that we remember from the Clone Wars, is now a completely different person because of this one last lesson with her former master, leaving us with Ahsoka the White, with a legacy to be made. But tell me what you think in the comment section below. Did you take this lesson differently than I did? And how cool was it to see Anakin Skywalker train his apprentice, Ahsoka Tano, in live action? Tell me in the comments below, smash a like on this video if you liked it, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. We go live on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so don't miss out on any of that by hitting that subscribe. And if you want more, go check out this breakdown video I just did for episode 5 of the Ahsoka show.